Hey, you guys, welcome back to Angel Angela. And on this topic, you guys, I wanted to talk to you guys about how the narcissist doesn't like anyone. The narcissist does not like anyone. This is someone that is strictly all about their ego, right? So they don't have sympathy for you. And because they don't have sympathy for you, the narcissist does not like you. The narcissist does not like anyone. They're nothing but a copy. They come into your life. They just project back onto you what you want to see, what you want to hear. They use you for their own selfish needs. They become obsessive over you, obsessive over your life, obsessive over every person in your life, obsessive over your time. But this person doesn't like you. You're like, why is this person around me? Right? Why does this person, pretend like they're such good parents and they raised me and they did this, but they hate me. People don't see how they hate me or how I try to make things better. The narcissist doesn't like anyone. They only care about themselves, right? But in order to understand the narcissist, you have to look deep within yourself and you have to look and see why this person is the way that they are, right? You have to look at their background. You have to look at their behavior. And, one thing that you're going to feel after the relationship with these type of people is over, whether you cut it off or they cut it off, is you're going to feel betrayed. You're going to feel like, wow, I did all these things and this person only cared about themselves. What about all these nice things I did for them? Like, what kind of stuff is that? Even if we don't see ourselves being together, being friends, or whatever the case might be, why did they have to talk bad about me? Or why did they have to start an argument or try to belittle me and then try to devalue me and discard me like that, There's people, in the narcissist's life, it might be 1, 2 people, maybe their family that they're loyal to, right? It seems like they're loyal to certain people and you'll do more for them than these people ever have, right? And you'll think to yourself, why do you treat them better and they don't do anything? Like you spend most of your time with me and here you are taking this person out to this 5-star restaurant. What's going on? And they're like partying with this person. They're partying with them because these type of people are always on the narcissist side no matter what. So you'll try to fight yourself into that circle. You'll try to fight yourself in their life to show them that you're loyal. But it's all for nothing because the narcissist doesn't like anyone and they've already made up their mind. The narcissist might have certain people that it seems like, the bond is unbreakable, basically. But the moment that person goes against the narcissist, and everything has a season to end, eventually that person's going to be their own person and have their own mind, even if they think the same like this person, like this narcissist. But eventually people change, circumstances change, and the narcissist will try to basically destroy that. When the narcissist doesn't have a choice but to bow down to others, progress, their change, and that person has, put their foot down because they feel like they've always been there for the narcissist. It's time for the narcissist to be there for them. The narcissist will go out of their way for that person, but they will start to resent and hate that person for it. This person only cares about themselves, meaning that in their perspective, it's like, even if you're right, I can't allow you to feel like you got one over on me. I'm always right. Even when I'm wrong, I'm right. I'm not going to let you make me feel bad, because to them, it's like if you're trying to make them feel bad, even for a little bit, you're trying to almost put everything they've been through or they've done to others to the light. So when you expose them, they feel like not only are you exposing them, but you're exposing the thoughts in their mind of everyone they've gotten over on, that they keep telling themselves that they didn't do anything, that it wasn't that bad, that they'll live, they'll move on without me, right? So what I realized, through the end, was that, that feeling that you have when you're like getting good luck and you're trying to find yourself again, right? And even though you're sad, you have to push through. You just know you have to push through, and there's periods of times where your mind is so distracted, you keep your mind so busy that you're not thinking about them, and you feel like you're walking in your true self, who you are. People look up to you, or people are drawn to you, all type of people. And some of those people you might, your past self, who you were before the narcissist, you might have looked down on those people. You might have said, I wouldn't hang out with those type of people. I wouldn't talk to those type of people. Or you just didn't care to understand. It was just like, oh, that person's doing bad and that's just all. Or that person is doing that and my family told me to stay away from those type of people. Or, so you're living a life where you're judging a book by its cover, but not necessarily. You just don't want to be involved. You're just like, that's not me. So you are living in your own world when the narcissist comes and they pull you out of that. And they're like, welcome to my world, right? So you start to see things that you have not seen before. So you're exposed to different things that make you not look at certain things the same, right? So you'll have periods of times where when the relationship's done or years, months pass by, you're thinking, wow, I wish the person I am today, the type of consciousness that I have, right? Because that's what makes the narcissist belittle you, because they think they're smarter than you. They feel like if I'm able to manipulate you, even as a dumb criminal as I am, I'm smarter than you, or else I wouldn't have been able to get away this long, right? So you realize, wow, no one else could pull the wool over my eyes like that again, But in the moment when it's happening, you're thinking, maybe if I behave, maybe if I just don't say anything, maybe if I show them more affection, maybe if I don't show them any affection. You're wondering why there comes a cycle where they discard you. You just can't understand the discard. You can't understand it. That's why they keep coming back. You don't even understand what's going on. When you're out of it, you realize, oh, wow, I was being triangulated the whole time. And that's when you get angry and they're kind of like, well, it's not my fault that you weren't awake. So when you start to, you idle certain relationships even in that time, because you're living in a fairy tale world, right? And you're looking at the happily ever after. We're going to do this happily ever after. And, after the marriage and the baby carriage, what comes next? Like, people fall out and you understand that. So you think to yourself, it's normal when we go through things, right? You're thinking it's normal when you realize it wasn't normal, and you realize that you can also take some accountability for wanting to control someone so badly that you just, it's like people have free will, you have free will, but you just can't understand, you know that you loved this person deeply, and that's why you couldn't help your actions, even when you knew, I shouldn't be doing this, I shouldn't be behaving this way, right? And when you realize when you look back at the different events, when you're like, okay, I let this person cross my boundaries. I should have had certain boundaries, certain things. Now I look back, I could have kind of maneuvered with that. It wasn't that bad. Maybe I overreacted. So you start to look at yourself. You start to look at the behaviors, and sometimes you want to go back. You know that feeling that's like, you're still healing. It's like you have an understanding, but you're not fully awake to how sick it is, because or else you'd be pissed, right? You haven't went through the pissed stage yet. And even after the pissed stage where you're angry, you still have to live with the pain, you know? So when you're living with that pain, or you're going throughout different stages, because during your healing, you go through angry, being sad, being depressed, you angry again, pissed. It's like you're going mad. You're basically going mad. And you're waking up too. You're seeing a lot of things you once didn't pay attention to, once you didn't see. You start to think about all your relationships from the past. You realize who were the people in your life that were really bad people. Then you realize the people that you thought were bad, but really weren't that bad. And you're like, I thought they were bad, But the narcissist shows you evil, and then you're like, oh, they weren't that bad. And I was so caught up in my ego because I wanted them to think like me, because I couldn't understand how their process of thinking. So then I started to realize it's kind of like, you go to school, you go to a job, you go to, anywhere you go, and there's like a group of people that get together, people who are outspoken, people who are funny, people who have, really intelligent, and then they can all intertwine with one another. But then someone will come into the group, and they could just automatically tell by that person's body language, by the way that person does, they can't really look you in the eyes, or they're nervous or scared. You could just start, you could start reading them so easily, just like the narcissist read you, right? And you start to see, because in your eyes, it's like, oh, I could tell this person's like going through something, right? Or they're nervous. You can process that and have some empathy for that person. Meaning that if your friend, the narcissist, was to tell you, oh, that girl has ugly shoes, most people would laugh, right? What are those, right? What are those? My lemon pepper shoes, right? So you're thinking like, what's, I'm not mean like everyone else, or even if it was funny, it's like, you don't really mean it. Even when you're joking around or going back and forth with people, you learn to lighten up, because when you were with the narcissist, you took everything personal. And that's another thing you have to realize. When you see people taking things personal, a lot of times it's because something's going on in their life. Someone is abusing them. They haven't found themselves. They're letting words that other people say about them affect them, where in your stage of healing, it's like, I don't give a damn what that person thinks, to be honest with you. I don't care how they feel about me. I don't care if they like me. I don't care if they don't want to be around me. So you understand that you have choices, and the narcissist tries to take that away from you, and they try to blur those things about, your choices. And they're basically like, you can't be seen with that person. I don't like your friend. I don't like your family. I don't like this person. And they want you to eliminate people because they don't like anyone. They're like, I can't get anything out of them, right? So you realize the way people look at others, a lot of times, even when the people are talking, right, and they're really happy because they're happy to be able to have someone to talk to or express themselves, and people will look at them like, oh, that person's weird. Why are they talking to me out of nowhere? Or that person, I don't know, like they just want to talk. Or, narcissists have that where they'll interact with you if they're in a good mood, but in their mind, they think they're smarter than you automatically. They're like, I would never just, go that deep. You must be lonely. Or, so they're making their assumptions, about people where with you as an empath, you see yourself in people. So you'll see, oh, that person's angry and they're trying to take it out on me because they're actually lonely. Oh, that old man, that old lady, she's lonely. Her kids probably don't get along with her. Something's going on with this person. They're grumpy. They're waking up, coming in here, messing with me. I didn't do anything. They're trying to tell me how to do what I've been doing for years. They're trying to, get some type of control or start an argument. Or I could just tell, that person doesn't want to make eye contact because they want to avoid people because they're going through something. So you see those things in people, and these are the reasons you don't mess with people. These are the reasons you tell yourself, I have to calm down. I have to let stuff go. It has nothing to do with me. But the narcissist feeds off of those things, and they think you're naive, and they want to take advantage of those things because they feel like if they're able to see those things in you, the same things that you can spot once you're aware of these type of people, those are the same things a narcissist feeds off of. So they can see those things too, but they feed off of it. And that makes them feel as if, I'm in control just because I'm smarter than you. I have a higher IQ than you. I'm more intelligent than you. I know more than you. I know how to manipulate people. You don't. I know how to get my way. You don't. You're in your emotions, right? Most narcissists feel like they have the advantage in life because they are incapable of feeling. And most of the time people, when they feel like someone has crossed them, they're angry, they have anxiety, they're afraid, so the narcissist feels like I'm already ahead of you, because I don't feel anything. This is why a narcissist, can like you. They can like your personality, but the moment that, you feel comfortable with them and you end up crying, you're talking about something that hurts you and they could see the pain, they don't like you because now they feel like, okay, I've defeated you now. What's next? Next person. This is a lot of times even why you will feel drained after talking to certain people, because that was the narcissist's food, was your fear. And this is what makes them hate you. The narcissist doesn't like anyone that they feel they're smarter than. So when they get around people who are smarter than them, who have accomplished more, let's just say accomplished more, they're looking at that person like, you're book smart, but you're not street smart. Your parents gave you everything. You had a good education. You went to, you're from the nice neighborhood. Your people's, your family has stuff. You hang around rich people. You work in a rich area. So the narcissist, they're looking at you like, I can hang around with you because they're basically like, if you're allowing me to hang around with you and I don't have anything that you have, but I can still be in your circle, then that must mean that I'm intelligent to a certain level, right? Because that narcissist might have a good sense of humor. But now what happens is that once they're around you and around your circle, they'll start to belittle you, or they'll start to gain information. And then once they gain all of your information, even if they don't tell you, they start to believe that they're smarter than you. They're thinking, oh, I could have went to school and did the same thing you did, and I would have been better at it than you. They don't like people because at some point after they study you, they're going to believe that they're smarter than you. And even if they're not, and you're telling them, hey, you shouldn't do that, it's not a good look, hey, something could happen if you do that, you shouldn't do that. Or, they're always either thinking the worst, or they're like not thinking at all. There's like no in between with the narcissist. So this person that doesn't like anyone, right, will have you eliminate everyone in your life, you know, because they'll try to get you to talk bad about people in your life because they're talking bad about people in their life. They're calling out all the toxic traits that people do to you that you're not even aware of. You know, they're bringing it up to you like, oh, you gave your friend a computer, you know, like your friend took advantage of you. And then you're like, oh no, you know, my friend gave me a tablet. She's taking me out to dinner. It doesn't mean anything. She's done a lot for me too. Like you know, we do for each other. The narcissist is like, nah, but that cost more money. So they start implanting things in your head, or they'll start to say things about the people around you that are true. But just like you wish you could have handled things different and been a new person with the narcissist will make you eliminate everyone out of your life until you have no one. And then when you have no one and you're lonely, you realize that being with the people that you trusted at the end of the day, certain things, you know, they wouldn't have done to you, they wouldn't have stole from you, certain things they wouldn't have done, and you realize, I wish I could go back and be the person I am today, because I know that those people would have appreciated me for my mind, for my spirit, for my empathy, and you would wish to do it all over again. Just the same feeling you have when you're with the narcissist and you feel like, you know, I got my life together. I wonder if it would have been different, you know. If you don't get away from these people, because the people around you are watching, and when they start seeing weakness, even though you're expecting them to help you, it just gives them ammunition to finish you off. And that's why the narcissist does that, because you're so busy in your world that when the narcissist comes in your life, you start invading in people's worlds and they're used to you behaving a certain way. And when you switch up, people switch up, and the narcissist knows that. So the narcissist does not care. You know, the whole time, all the people they talk bad about, they're actually kissing ass to these people. They're being fake. They know even if they get into it with them, they know that even if they tell those people the truth, that those people are so narcissistic that they're not going to care. You know, that person, you know, that kid, you know, that, you know, they're talking bad about someone and then they're trying to get you to talk bad about them. And then they're like, oh, that's my brother. That's my sister. I was just playing. And they got you to say something or agree to something, or you laughed. You just laughed. The same person that comes and tells you, who pretends to be your friend and tells you what other people are saying about you, that's the narcissist. So the fact that they will allow you to destroy yourself like that while being around you and while acting like they're helping you, and they're like, oh, this is what's going to happen next, because they already know how people behave based off of the information that they know. So they feel like, I'm already a couple steps ahead of you. You know, I don't like none of the people I'm around, but I just want to see if you could do it on your own. And I know you're not going to be able to do it on your own, because I've already tried. I can't do it on my own. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm still around these people. But the narcissist will deliberately drag you down, and you know, sometimes you'll tell yourself, I just want to be in love. I just want to feel. I'd rather feel like this than not feeling at all, because I know once this is over, it's just over. It's just, I'm going to be alone until I don't know when, because I know it's not going to last forever, because this person doesn't care about anyone. Not even their own kids. Some narcissists send their kids away to their grandparents. Some narcissists get, you know, time with their children, don't spend that time with their children. Some narcissists tell other people, hey, you know, I'm just going to leave my kids here and start a new life. Not just men, women too, and it's scary. I'm just, I'm just going to start a new life with someone else and have another kid. Like, you have women that have multiple kids, and then every relationship, they'll just leave the kid with the dad and everything. Single dads out here too. So the narcissist, you guys, this is someone that literally does not care about anyone. They barely care about themselves, but you can't see that when you're with them, because there's like, with them, it's like they're too see-through. At least it looks like they're see-through with you. It looks like they're being real with you. And there's moments and times where they tell you that they don't feel anything, that they not in the way they love you, but not in the way you would want them to, because they're incapable of that. You're just not listening. And it's not until you go through certain situations that you can, truly empathize with people, because maybe once upon a time you didn't look at life, society, the way you do now, or you just simply didn't care. You didn't care. You were, caught up in your own ego, moving through life. And the narcissist kind of just shook you up to the point where now you're just staring at yourself and you're like, wow, this is really me. And this is really my life. And, it's not a fairy tale anymore. So the narcissist pulls you out of that fairy tale. And the narcissist feels like they've been out of that fairy tale a long time ago. And they're just angry, upset. They want blood. They're too much of a coward to destroy themselves. So they just destroy people. They're just numb to everything, to emotions. As long as it's not them, So I've seen that, in narcissists time and time again, is that they don't really care about people. They don't care about your situation. I've had people that will literally, pretend like they care, but, somehow the universe will show you that they don't, or you'll feel that they don't. And then the same thing that happened to you will happen to them. And you could say it's coincidence, but that person could have been talking bad about you, So they're acting like they care, but they don't, because they don't really care about anyone. So it's not so much the act that they don't care that causes them to go through that type of karma. It's the fact that they said something. They made fun of you, or they tried to belittle you, or probably just didn't believe you. Like, oh, they're making things up. They're trying to make it sound like you're trying to get someone to feel sorry for you. So while you're sitting there, waiting for these people to care, they're devaluing you. They're discarding you while you're going through tough moments, even. Some just want information, and some want to destroy you in those moments. They want to tell people that you deserve that they don't know how evil you are. That's how much they don't care about you. That they would rather make it seem like you're the monster and they're the empath. Sometimes they're like, oh, I told their dumb self not to do that. They're talking like they were trying to help you and you don't listen, but it's a lie. They weren't even trying to help you. And then they're clowning you out. The narcissist is clowning you out. So the narcissist, you guys, they only think about themselves, and then when they clown you out, what's so crazy is that they get their karma, but they won't link what happened to them to what happened to you. They won't link those things together to understand that they have to watch their words. So not only do they do bad things, but they speak evil into people, in order to control them, because all they think about is themselves. They speak evil into you to destroy you, to get you vulnerable so that you can need them and they can reject you when they want to. So, these type of people, you guys, they don't care about anyone. They don't like anyone. Anyone they get around, they feel like they just, they become a copy of that person, and now they think they're better. They're even better than that person, instead of showing those people respect and loyalty for putting them in a better position. It's just someone that's, very childlike, very competitive, but doesn't know how to be humble. So I'm sending you guys lots of love, light, peace in your healing, you guys. If you guys want to book a session with me, my booking information is on the description. Just give me about 24 hours to respond to you. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, comment, and I'll talk to you guys on the next podcast. Love you guys. Bye.